West Yellowstone is kind of like the hub of a wheel. The spokes of that wheel go out in different directions. Half of them go into the Yellowstone area. That's only half. The other half of the spokes lead off into out of the park areas, the famous Two Top Mountain area, and the hundreds of miles of groomed snowmobile trails that go down into Island Park, Idaho. And we can snowmobile here in 3 national forests that are out of the park, where we can stay on the trails if we want. We can get off and climb hills and bust through powder if we want.
We're here in the backcountry in West Yellowstone. This is our 3rd day riding here. We spent the last 2 days going through Yellowstone Park on our Clean Machine 4-strokes. Now we're on the 2-strokes on the M6s, and we're having a lot of fun here. The difference is these M6s have the 153 or 155 inch track, I'm not sure on these. 2-inch paddles are made for powder and narrower ski stands. We had about 4 inches of snow last night. When you're riding in the backcountry, there is avalanche danger and risk. So you want to have, everybody in your group should have what they call an avalanche beacon. This beacon is a transmitter, and it transmits a signal. If someone was to get buried, everybody else in the group would put their avalanche beacon into the receive mode, and they would be able to see where this beacon is located under 10-12 feet of snow. And then using their receivers, the probe poles and shovels, is how you find somebody that gets buried in an avalanche. Here we're not going into any avalanche danger areas of 30-degree slopes or more, but it is a risk out here in the mountains. You got to be aware about it and use all the proper safety gear. So let's get some riding here out in West Yellowstone in this deep powder, Mother Nature's playland.
My pal over there stuck his sled in a snowdrift, and we had to pull him out. A little tiring.
Yeah, but you got him out.
We got him out.
And everything's okay.
Everything's okay.
And
see, but he's being nice. The part he's not telling you is that he got his friend unstuck.
I had to crawl out.
Off, and he got to crawl out of the drift.
Uh-oh. So what did I hear you say? What are you going to do next time?
I'm going to return the favor.
All in good fun, right?
That's it.
So what problem you having with your helmet?
Fogging issues. Frost, actually not frost fogging, but frosties.
Yeah.
Frosties and icicles building up, so it limits the visibility. And with a flat lighting like this, it's tough to really rip and go fast because you just never know what's on the other side of that little hole.
What happens is one, it's humid, it's snowing, it's still fairly warm, and then what happens is when you start to sweat, because we're working hard playing in the powder, and then almost nothing can keep up with it. And that's why in the powder most guys are riding in the goggle systems. Not so much because the goggles stay clear, but because you can just rip the goggles off and keep playing. So. Right now we're at Big Spring down in Island Park, Idaho, and this is an area where it's actually the beginning of the South Fork of the Snake River. It's a warm spring that bubbles up right out of the ground, and it's a wonderful place to come for wildlife. A lot of times we see moose here. It's one of the best places to find a moose on the trail system in the National Forest here. And then also there's great big fish that hang out by the bridge here. You're not allowed to fish here, so they get to really large size. And then it's a good place for waterfowl as well, as you can see.
Where are you guys from?
We're also from North Carolina. There's a group of 8 of us here from Winston-Salem.
Where'd you go today?
Well, we went up to Tutah, and then we have been out on various trails in the afternoon. Had a wonderful day.
Highly recommended?
Absolutely.
Ever been on snowmobile before?
No, this is a first-time adventure for us. We went into the park yesterday and out on the trails today, and I highly recommend it.
You know, we have a lot of people that come that have never been on a snowmobile before. And they don't have the snowmobile gear. They've never even seen one before in some cases. And so we provide it all again. Hey, if you've never been on a snowmobile before, not to worry. Because probably 40% of the people that come with us have never been on a snowmobile before. So we go through the complete operational instructions with them. We have the complete clothing. We get them all outfitted with clothing. It was 45 below zero last night here. We waited until it got about 25 below before we left this morning with our groups, but they're going to be warm in the clothing that we provide, so we provide it all. When we go to Atlanta, Georgia, or we do travel shows all over the United States, there is something unique about telling people about coming and visiting their national park, Yellowstone, in the wintertime. That's the hook that gets people to come. And when they come, then they find out that there's all this vast whole other experience that's awaiting them.
I have never in all of my life seen the beauty that I saw there today. And then for the fog to come in and to be in that kind of scary place, just watching the markers trying to get down. We had an eventful morning. It was beautiful and a little bit uneasy, but I would do it again. This is a great sport.
The blustery morning weather had cleared, and the cold front has moved in, creating magnificent blue skies on Two Top Mountain. It is by luck and chance that one gets to enjoy views like this. For some reason, the crew I was with did not want to hang out long in the very crisp conditions in the high altitude. There was a feeling of being very small and exposed to the elements even with the right gear. Kinda like being on the moon. But I would do it again.
We made it to the top of Two Top Mountain, the highest peak here. Around, we got Lion's Head off to the side. We can see 3 states, Montana, Idaho, and Wyoming from the top of here. It's been a beautiful day. It started out a little bit rough, but we had a cold front come in. It is bitterly cold up here, below 10 degrees, so we're not staying very long, but if you get the chance on a beautiful day like this, come on up to the top of Two Top. The scenery is unparalleled.